We grew our Instagram followers up to over 20,000 followers in the last year and a half. And we drove similar results for our clients from all kinds of industry, like this one from the beauty industry, where we grew their Instagram by over 11,800. We helped this client from the hospitality industry grow their Instagram from 0 to over 1,600 followers, and this school of medicine by over 1,800 followers. We grow our Instagram followers and our clients' Instagram followers by using a mix of organic and paid strategies. Now hold on, before I scare you off with the word paid and followers being in the same sentence, I'm not talking about buying followers or using automated bots or any of that mess. So stick around for my 9 tips to boost your follower growth on Instagram that really work. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandy with LYFE Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. Before we dive into my 9 Instagram follower growth tips today, go ahead and like this video for me and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the digital marketing videos that we put out every single week. All right, so diving straight in with tip number 1. Post consistently and get your profile ready. Before I go through the rest of this list on how to get followers to your page, we first need to make sure your Instagram profile is ready to receive them. People make an instant judgment on whether they want to follow you or not based on their first impression of your profile. So before you spend time trying to get followers to your page, make sure that they'll want to tap follow when we get them there. How do you do this? By posting consistently and getting your profile ready. If people come to your page and see that the last time you posted was several months ago, or even more than 1 week ago, they may think your page inactive or not active enough to follow. So be present and post consistently. Now, what does it mean to get your profile ready? Posting regularly is part of it, but it also means letting your followers know at a glance that you can provide the value that they're looking for. Here are a few examples of what I mean. If you're in the fashion industry or you're an influencer, this could mean having a certain feed aesthetic where you can only use certain presets and filters on your photos that all go together and are inspiring to viewers. If you're in the service industry like we are, this could mean having infographics and thumbnails with text that state the how-tos and tutorials people can learn that are relevant to your industry. If you're an e-commerce store, this could include reels of how to use or wear your products different ways. In addition to the visual effect of your feed, you need to utilize your bio. We'll get more into optimizing your bio shortly, but for now, just make sure to use language that makes it obvious to the viewer of what your page is about. One glance at our bio, and you can see that we are a digital marketing agency and that our page will likely provide online marketing strategies. So when we talk about getting your profile ready, we mean glance ready, where followers will come to your page and immediately think, oh yeah, I want to follow. Tap. All right, let's move on to tip number 2, use keywords. The term keywords in the marketing world is synonymous with search terms. If you've watched some of our Instagram videos on this channel before, you've heard me talk about this update, but for those that are new here, let me fill you in really quick. You can now search plain keywords, not hashtags, like marketing, and find a mixture of the top reels, posts, IGTVs, etc. for that keyword. So how do you help yourself show up for keywords that are relevant to your business? Include them in your content and in your bio. Earlier when I said we talk about optimizing your bio, this is what I was talking about. You want your bio to be an anchor for the top keywords that are both relevant to your business as well as searched often on Instagram. And then, like I said, continue using intentional keywords in the captions of your posts as well. This will help your profile get discovered by qualified people because they're searching for terms that are specific and relevant to your niche. And if you're getting discovered by the right people, they will be the ones most likely to follow you. All right, moving on to the next strategy. Just because keyword search is the new big Instagram feature, that does not make hashtags totally outdated. So tip number 3 is to mix up and rotate your hashtags. Hashtags still hold their original function, which is to categorize content and make it more discoverable. So it's not a situation of using keywords instead of hashtags. You want to use keywords with hashtags. So here are some hashtag guidelines to follow. Use all different sizes of hashtags. anywhere between 50K to about 600 or 700K. Anything above that and you start running into the issue of the hashtag being too large. Let me show you what I mean. Let's look at the hashtag fashion, which has over 968 million posts. Watch what happens when I refresh. All the posts we just saw a second ago are already gone and replaced by the new most recent posts. When you use hashtags that are too big, you don't really give yourself a chance to get discovered. Plus, most hashtags that are that huge in size are too vague anyway. You want to use specific hashtags so that you can attract qualified followers to your page. So how do you find the right hashtags for you? Start by looking at your competitors' Instagram accounts to see which hashtags are working for them. And remember that you don't necessarily have to stick to your direct competitor accounts here. For instance, if you own a clothing store, I would recommend looking to niche fashion inspo accounts to see what kind of hashtags they're using. Ultimately, you just want to find accounts that share your target audience and learn from the hashtags they utilize. In addition to that, I'm sure you already have a few hashtag ideas you're thinking of in your mind, so type those into the Instagram search bar and see what the sizes are for those hashtags. The last thing you need to do with hashtags is rotate them. You can have max 30 hashtags to a post, but you don't want to use the same 30 hashtags every time, even if they're working for you. Instagram will consider it spammy and will lower the reach of your post, which is the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish, right? So I would recommend having a few sets of hashtags saved in a doc or somewhere on file that you can swap between and pull from, and continuously research new hashtags you can use fairly often. The goal of using a strong hashtag strategy is to attract new, qualified users who will be likely to follow you upon finding your page. All right, moving on to tip number 4, utilize your other marketing channels. This tip is going to be pretty short and sweet and self-explanatory, but it's worth mentioning. If you have another channel that already has a lot of followers or gets loads of traffic, cross-promote. Point them towards your Instagram. Keep your Instagram linked on your website and other marketing materials. Work smarter, not harder, right? All right, tip number 5. Engage with your community. Now, this is a big one. Engaging with your community not only keeps your current audience engaged so that they continue to follow you, but it also helps you bring in new followers as well. So how can you engage with your community in a genuine way that doesn't come off as spammy? The first way is to follow hashtags that your audience would be following and engage with them there. So if you follow tip number 3, you should have a pretty good idea of what kind of hashtags your audience likes to look through. Beyond just looking through the search results for hashtags, people can follow hashtags by simply typing in the hashtag and clicking follow. From there, posts using that hashtag will appear in their feed even if they are not following the person who posted it. Yet another reason why hashtags are still relevant, right? But the idea for this is that you also follow those hashtags and engage with users in the comment section. And this is a really easy, organic way to go about community engagement because these posts will just show up to you in your newsfeed as you're scrolling since you're following the hashtag. Now, remember that the point of engaging with them is to get them to follow you. So how do you go about doing that? Well, you don't want to jump right in with follow me for XYZ because that comes off as spammy or automated and most people will not respond to that. Instead, I would use whatever the post is that you're commenting on as a starting point for conversation. What did they say in their initial comment on the post? Reply back to them with why you agree or with another point to add to the topic. You want to converse with them and provide value to them in the comments so that they think, this guy seems pretty smart or helpful or funny or however it is that you're providing value to them. And they think, let me tap on their profile and see what they're about. And if you follow tip number 1 and got your profile ready, they should want to click follow when they're there. You can directly ask for the follow after a couple of comments, but this can again seem ingenuine or automated to users. Another way to engage with your target audience is to go to your competitor's account, click on their most recent post, and tap on the people who are commenting there. Once you're on their profile, you can comment on their post, react to their stories, or even follow them. But if they don't follow you back or engage back with you within 2 days, I would go back and unfollow them as it doesn't seem like they're going to be an active follower. Now, this can be a great strategy for obtaining not only new followers, but engaged new followers. However, the only precaution you need to take here is to limit how many times you do this a day. Instagram is a little sensitive to mass liking and mass commenting, because they want to get rid of automated bots and things like that as best they can. The most common consensus I've seen is to limit yourself to about 180 to 200 comments per day and to spread that out over the course of hours, like all 24 hours. All right, tip number 6, use giveaways. This tip is not necessarily groundbreaking. If you've been on Instagram for a while, you've seen giveaways before, but it's worth mentioning on this list because giveaways are still a great way to encourage follower growth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a quick example is where you as the business host a giveaway on Instagram. Ideally, the item you're giving away is something your audience wants while still being relevant to your business. In order for people to enter the giveaway, my suggested requirements would be for them to like your Instagram post about the giveaway, follow you on Instagram, and tag 2 or more friends in the comments. This ensures that you get the follow from the original person entering, and you get the added brand awareness from the friends they're tagging, who may also end up entering the giveaway and following you as well. Now, it's inevitable that some people will only follow you for the giveaway and then unfollow you once it's over. But to minimize this, you want to make the prize they're winning something that is, again, relevant to your business. If you own a golf course, for example, it would be better to give away a free round of golf at your establishment than it would to give away a $50 Amazon gift card. By making the giveaway prize relevant to your business, you're more likely to attract followers who would be interested in your social media content overall. All right, tip number 7, boosting posts. Here is where we start to get into the paid strategies that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Boosting posts simply means putting advertising dollars behind your post. You can do this through Facebook Ads Manager, as Facebook owns Instagram, or you can do it directly within the Instagram app by tapping the blue promote button on a post and selecting more profile visits as the goal. Now, keep in mind that the engagement campaign on Facebook is going to optimize for post engagement, and the promote button on Instagram is going to optimize for more profile visits. There is not a campaign that optimizes for Instagram followers directly the same way that Facebook has one that optimizes for Facebook page likes. But these campaigns should get your post and or profile in front of more targeted eyeballs. So again, if you've gotten your profile glance ready to convert onlookers into followers, this can be a great way to gain followers as well. The second paid strategy I want to discuss, and tip number 8, is working with influencers. IMH describes an influencer as someone who has the power to affect the purchasing decisions of others because of his or her authority, knowledge, position, or relationship with his or her audience, and someone who has a following in a distinct niche with whom he or she actively engages. The size of the following depends on the size of his or her topic of the niche. I think influencers are most commonly thought of in the fashion world and blogging world, but they really do exist across many industries. We've even worked with digital marketing influencers for LYFE Marketing's Instagram in the past. The idea is you want to find somebody on Instagram who has a larger follower account than you with great engagement. And this is key because you don't want to work with somebody who has a bunch of bots for followers instead of real people. So find somebody in your niche who has a big follower count and substantial engagement. And the goal is for them to have your same shared targeted audience. You would then reach out to that influencer privately in the DMs and get their rates to see how much it would cost to have them shout out your business and tag you either on their feed and their Instagram stories or both. Usually people do this and have the influencer talk about how much they love your product or service to encourage sales, but you can also do this to encourage follower growth as well. For example, running with the golf course example, if you own a golf club and want more followers, the influencer you partner with could encourage their followers to go follow you because of all the helpful swing techniques you share on your Instagram. Depending on the audience size of the influencer that you're working with, you might even get away with doing a shout out for shout out exchange where instead of paying them with cash to mention your Instagram, you pay them by mentioning their account on your Instagram in return. Just make sure that if you do this, you have some way to track how many followers came from their shout out. Oftentimes, this is something that they can track on their end, so you just need to include that in your negotiations with them. All right, and on to my last tip for how to get followers on Instagram. Tip number 9, post long conversation starting captions. This is a little similar to my community engagement tip, but instead of outreach, this has to do with what you post on your own Instagram account. Spend some time actually thinking about what you want your Instagram captions to be, and include questions in them for followers to answer in the comments. If someone is engaging with your post in the comments, they're more likely to follow you if they haven't already. And sometimes we see that even if people aren't talking to you directly, they'll tag their friends in the comments on your post if the post is something relevant to them. And again, when people are tagging others in your posts, that's added brand awareness for you and potential for even more followers. I know short captions are sometimes just easier, but try doing the longer conversation starting captions on your Instagram posts and see if that makes a difference in your follower growth. All right, Life fam, that's all I have for you today. Go ahead and like this video for me, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode.